Happy Halloween, everyone. To those that know me, you guys know that this is my favorite time of year, also my favorite season being fall or autumn, but basically the end of October is my favorite time of year being that it's Halloween, my favorite season. So basically I just wanted to, tell you why that I really enjoy Halloween, and I'm basically breaking it up into three parts, starting when I was a child, up into my teen years, and now my young adult years. So, starting with childhood, like many of you, you've gone Halloweening, you've gone trick-or-treating where as a kid, who didn't love candy and sugar, things like Snickers and Skittles and M&Ms and whatnot. Our tradition as a family was we would always meet at my grandma's house, and me and some of my cousins would go out, and we would each take a pillowcase, an empty pillowcase, full. That was like basically the best means, I think, to get as much candy as possible rather than taking away, like a shopping bag, like a plastic shopping bag. And we would go around, we grew up in a decent sized city of I think a population like 30, 40,000. And it was one of those, cities where each house in between was only a few feet. So you were able to hit up a lot of houses on both sides of the street. So we would basically meet at my grandma's house, and we would, eat some food and whatnot, and we would go Halloweening with a couple adults kind of chaperoning. And we would go to each house, and we'd go out for a couple hours, and I just remember it being a really good time. I remember, I think we would go, most of them took place on weekdays, I'm pretty sure, so you would have to go to school that day, and everything that was on your mind was, I can't wait to go Halloweening. It was so exciting. And, once the early evening hit and you went out, it was a lot of fun. Two really good memories come to mind. One was in 1993. I remember it actually snowing on Halloween, and it was actually sticking to the ground, which snow in October, I'm from Pennsylvania, so Pennsylvania, it's one of those states that, you have between a 4 to 6 month winter. It's usually pretty long, and it's cold and really hot in the summers, but anyway, for it to snow that early is kind of rare. It's now 2013, and there's been 2 or 3 nights in October where I've seen some snow flurries, but it didn't stick. But this was actually a pretty bad snowstorm, but we still went Halloweening. And I remember that year, the end around Christmas, there was the blizzard of '93 where we got 4 feet of snow, but that's another story. So anyway, that was one memory, and the other memory I remember is, you never know what you're going to get going house to house. You might get something like a simple lollipop. And other places gave full-size Snicker bars out, which was kind of rare, but man, was that awesome. And basically we would go for a couple hours and fill up, we'd get our pillowcase pretty full, 3/4 full, to where I remember being young and it being so heavy to carry. But man, that was awesome. So the other memory I remember is, my cousins and I went up to one house. I couldn't tell you where it was now, but this older woman came out and she handed us action figures like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and these hard plastic dinosaurs like Brontosaurus and Stegosaurus and T-Rex and whatnot, which kind of confused us. So at the end of the night, we went back and we pulled out our candy and emptied the pillowcase to see what our haul was, how much we got, and we all kind of compared. And I remember, looking at these action figures, and they were basically already used. I remember one of my cousins got a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. I think it was Leonardo, and his head was missing. And it was those ones in the back that had the up and down switch that when you manually press them, their bodies moved from side to side. And I just remember just seeing how beat up these toys were, that this woman, maybe she had grandkids that grew up, earlier that had these Ninja Turtles, and played with them, and when they were done with them and grown up, we were the ones that got them. But I remember, I think I got a dinosaur, a Stegosaurus, and it had all these scuff marks on them and everything, but it was just very strange, and we all still kind of talk about that today sometimes, remember when that happened? So that's basically my childhood. I remember that it was a lot of fun. As I got a little older into my teens, you quit trick-or-treating when you hit your teens, I think 13, 14. You really don't trick-or-treat anymore, but the thing that was cool by that time was watching scary movies, going over a friend's house when you were in middle school, and on the weekend, Halloween weekend or any time in October, you would stay the night, and you would try and rent scary movies. Now, a couple of my friends' moms, parents were kind of cool to where they would rent scary R-rated movies for us. Now, I don't condone that kind of thing, but hey, what the hell? It's Halloween. So, I just remember being in my early teens watching scary stuff like Michael Myers from Halloween, or Jason Voorhees, from Friday the 13th, or Freddy Krueger from the Nightmare on Elm Street series. And I just remember, like, that was the cool thing to do, is like seeing an R-rated movie and people getting killed with the blood and gore. Good times. But and then as I got older, you know, I did that up until college, and I finished college. And now that I'm kind of going close to my 30s, the thing that I've been doing the past 5 years is I actually host a Halloween party. Now, if you've watched my other films, or I'm sorry, my other videos, sometimes I review movies, and those that have either watched my movies or know me overall, I'm really into movies. I'm real good at watching a movie and kind of like mentally noting who the actors are, character names, when the movie was made, how much the movie made, who it was directed by. I'm kind of obsessed with that. So what I do is I host a Halloween party, and being that my favorite types of movies are horror films, whether it be a slasher with a body count, psychological, or jump scare, or just very gory overall, I have a Halloween party, and those that I invite, they kind of like, look at my knowledge, like, oh, they're real excited, like, what are we watching this year? And I always make it a big deal. I make a lot of food, I cook a lot of homemade food, and we basically, light some candles, and we usually watch 2 or 3 movies, and they just really appreciate it, and it's something I really enjoy. I like to host parties around that time of year, so I just got done doing it last week, so it was a good time. So basically, I just wanted to share this with you guys, that how much I love this time of year. In the comments below, if you've watched this, let me know, what do you like about Halloween, whether it be when you were really young or now, or whenever. What makes this time of year special to you? So I will see you guys later. Thanks for watching.